close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good morning, good afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello, folks. My name's Karl Smith, the UK Hypnosis, and it's great to be here on a Friday night. I hope you're all well. Hope you're all getting ready for the weekend, or wherever you are in the world. You've probably started the weekend. So let's shout out. Okay, Briandon, you're always first up anyway. David down in NZ. Hope you're well, hope you're fine. Lindsay, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Great to speak to you today. Mrs. Plum. David, good. Steve-O, hope you're well. Subliminals for you, good. Wendy Cheverton. Oh my God, they're coming in so thick and fast at the present moment in time. Sai, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well, hope you're fine. Don't forget, guys, this is a membership site, so you can either buy in on your via your YouTube channel. You can purchase the membership either with $5. $9 and $90, and don't forget those guys and girls that are as part of the on the, what am I going to say then, the aficionados, that was what I was going to say, those that are paying the £90 a month. Don't forget you get a month an hour with me, and then you can do that. So I hope you're well, hope you're fine. And go from there. Hi, Ilse, Angela, I hope you're well. Don't forget, guys, I'm doing a competition all the way from here. I'll be doing a competition tonight for those people that are members. Don't forget, this is what I've been doing every Friday since we've been doing this, and it's 6 weeks now. And we'll be doing a gift tonight, and you're going to be getting something from Janet Thompson. For those people who watched last night about the nutrition, did you enjoy that interview with Janet? That's what I want to know about the nutrition and about your gut and all of the gut flora, all of that stuff there. Because if you really enjoyed it, I've got a gift for you tonight, and it's going to be a competition. It'll be a snapshot. Oh, here comes the question, and bang, they're going to fire it in. All right, so if you watch the rest of this, it's only valid for tonight. So for those people, I don't know why, you enter competitions 3.5 weeks after it's closed. Maybe that you should go away and go figure out what you need, or find yourself a lovely hypnotist. CB, hello. Where is he? I eat that, none that. There he is. Hi, Sherry, Austin. Hello, how are you? All right, Eddie. Hope you're well. Jackie Brennan, great. As long as you enjoyed her last night. Don't forget, guys, tonight we are doing a Q&A. It's a Q&A. So things that you may be stuck with, things that maybe I've missed on questions before, you want to fire up me now, all that type of stuff. Don't forget, if it's Janet orientated, then we'll do that. But what's your feelings about maybe me bringing in some really top presenters? I don't mean people that have, claiming to be international hypnotherapists because they've done a Udemy course, or maybe done a Skype session with somebody. I'm talking about, top class presenters and stuff like that. And what's your thoughts on me doing that? How did you feel about last night, me doing it, instead of me ranting on all night? There seemed to be a ton of material coming through, which was really good. So hi Levi, hope you're well, hope you're fine. Nicola, hope you're well, hope you're fine. So yeah, so Sir Barry, but Barry, I will get Barry on here. Because me and Barry do a lot with each other. Me and Barry do lots and lots of work because we have the same things going on. Hi, Miles. We have the same type of thoughts. Like, we don't buy into brainwaves, stuff like that. We don't buy into that. Hello, Stephen Holmes. Hi, Jackie Brenton. So yeah, if you want to see more, we'll do that. I've got some top people, some really, top people I'm going to bring on, stuff like that. I'll even bring Cheryl Ellman, Larry Ellman on, and some other, maybe some scientists and stuff like that I've met during my time, that we could do stuff, some famous authors and things like that. But if you like that idea, let's mix and match up. Let's fire it all in. Yeah, I know. It's always great to listen to me. Well, it's great for you to listen to me. I have to put up with me all day long. So hi, Peter. I have to put up with me 24 hours a day. I soon start getting fed up with myself. So guys, let's don't forget, guys, and I have to say it every night, if you are using Facebook, don't forget to go back into Facebook, allow StreamYard to utilize your name and everything like that. So hi Bongo, good, and then we'll go from there. Delia Smith, I would love to bring Delia on here. I love Delia, one of the best, and her husband Michael, one of the best owners of a football club you're ever going to find. Why? Because we're not in debt, and the mighty Norwich City are going to come forward to the Europeans one day. There you go. Delusions of grandeur. Right, folks, it's Q&A night. What are we going to do tonight? As long as it's not stupid, like can you dance naked and all that type of stuff. But let's fire in some questions and let's do a Friday, do a competition, have a lovely weekend and get fired up ready for Monday. Got him. Who's the first one? Lesbie Avenue. Lesbie Avenue. Let me just tell you, right, while I'm waiting for the first question to come through, right? Let me just tell you, when I was in the army, when that happened, when we played Man City that day, and she had that big red mark just here where she'd been gulping down loads of red wine. The point was that she literally for the next few weeks, the next few months, I would answer a telephone and it would be, where are you? Lesbie Avenue. So we're going along there. So there's that type of stuff there. Yes, it was fixed. Good. Let's fire in some questions and then go from there. Guys, got any questions about what we've done so far? Anyone got any questions? There was a couple of questions last night that people were posing in at me about, what was it last night? I didn't make a note of it while we just wait for the first one to come through. Oh my God, I just found myself on YouTube. So is there anything that you want to see? You know, if there's no questions out there, come on, guys and girls, is there anything you want to see or anything like that? Collapsing anchors. I'll tell you one thing, Stevie, right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a lesson on that. It's in itself. I will do a lesson on that next week. I'll tell you why, because it's gargantuan and the people out there probably need to know a little bit more about how to set them, and then do it that way. All right. So I will do that. Let's do that as a whole lesson next week. All right. Great news. Okay. Processing all the information. I'll tell you what. Let me just do. Oh, bloody hell, I just shut my phone off. Somebody sent me a message earlier today. Kings Lynn. Nobody goes to Kings Lynn. Somebody sent me a message today about being nervous prior to a session. And I think it's a valid question, actually, because I forget about that. Because I'll be brutally honest, I just do it with my eyes closed now. But the key thing is hi Angela, hi Ilta. I was wondering whether the course on editing videos is for PCs and not just for Apple. No, it's for everything. It's for everything. We'll be using Camtasia. I'll be showing you a system on Camtasia how to do that as well. So I'm going to show you that. What the question was last night is about, somebody said, I feel nervous prior to a client turning up. All right. I feel nervous prior to a client turning up and I don't feel unprepared. Okay. All I'm going to say on that, is that what you need to do is keep cocking up. That's what I'm going to say. Hi, Janet. Hi, Patrick. Is what I'm going to say is when I first started out, I was always nervous as sin. Is this going to do it? Is it going to work? Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? Now, with today's technology, and you know, we're 16 years down the line for me, is that the only thing I can say is if your pre-talk's right, and never, ever, 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 ever feel that you're going to fail. Yes, nerves are great. It's the same as I've done stage shows before, right? I've done stage hypnosis shows before. And I'll tell you now, I'm a bag of nerves prior to going on. A bag of nerves. And if I was to do one this week, let's say I was to do a stage show this week, I would probably shit myself again. It's good to have nerves. It's good to have nerves. And what you do is you just build and build and build and build and build. And that might sound like a cop out, but that's exactly what you've got to do. All right. Right. So let me just come back on there. Miles L. Okay. Do you do a client follow-up every time, every single time? I always do a quick phone call. I always give it to the client, though, as their Everything is their responsibility, right? It's not my responsibility. So what I say to the client is, I've I've had 3 clients today, right? And I've said to them, all of them, have a great weekend, let the dust settle, right, with what we've done. But on Monday, I want you to give me a bell. Monday or Tuesday, give me a quick bell, right? Just give me a quick 5 minutes cover of what you've done over the past couple of days and see what goes on. Because it allows me to figure out where we've gone with it and maybe if we may need another one, or if they go, no, I feel bloody marvelous, or I feel like shit. And the reason being is that some people do feel like shit after a session. And I always want to make sure that I don't tell them after the session. I don't want to tell them after the session, well, you may feel shit after the session, because guess what will happen? I want to speak to them a couple of days later. So if they are feeling the effects and there is a little bit of weepiness, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of anger, a little bit of fluctuation in what they're doing, I can then settle that down and say, no, you're doing what I expected this. But then what I will do then is then do loads of stuff with them after that. So yes, I do follow-ups, and that's when we calibrate to find out if I'm going to be wanting, if they want to do another session. Don't forget, I don't do bundles of 6, bundles of 12, because I think it's, why would you do that? Why would you do that to somebody? I'm going to keep you in therapy for 6 sessions. Why would you do that? I just don't get it. I understand if it's going to be a continued thing, or I just saw something about clinical depression. If it's an elongated thing, I get that, but I don't book them in. I just say to them, we're probably going to be about 4 to 5 sessions, but we're going to manage that as we go along. I don't book them in straight away. Financially, most people would be like that. Well, it's a shit business model. Well, do you know what? It's a fucking honest business model. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, I don't know if, if you do it, packages, that's fine. But I don't. I like to work with the client, and then what happens is that the client will give me the feedback, and then we figure out where we're going to go from there. There's no point in me selling them 6, and on the first 2 they're done. The next 4 I'm sitting there going, well, this session's screwed, isn't it? Because I ain't got anything to do for the next 4 sessions. Right, but you have to calibrate. That's why I do it. So yes, I do. David, yes, the Mevo is working. If the Mevo was working, except Clownboy here has been spending, you would not believe how many hours today adjusting the sound, doing the sound, and all that type of stuff. And funny enough, randomly, you're going to see the new Chesterfield that I've been given today, brand new 2-seater, and I've been given a 3-seater Chesterfield, so that's going to be our backdrop from now on. So I'm not sat on this big bouncing chair here. All right, so yes, the Mevo is working. The Mevo is a great bit of kit without the ancillaries that I put on it. Right, the Mevo is great. Clownboy went Hollywood. That's what happened. All right. Delivering, presenting your fee. Steve, can you do you mean how I told people how much? If your question is how much do I tell people, how much do I charge? I just tell them. I'm no different to somebody walking into a shop. I just tell them. I just tell them outright. How much is it? And if they're a tire kicker, bye. You're not my client. If you're a tire kicker, you're not my client. If you want my services, you'll do it. I normally find I don't have to do a lot of that because it's all on my website. All right, which is actually changing over the weekend. By the way, if you wanted to have a nice one, Johnny, if you wanted to have a session with me, it's probably to save yourself some money. You're best off doing it by Monday. How many sessions would you suggest for weight loss? From Lindsay Plum. All right. Okay, I will try and get through as much of these as I can. How many sessions would you suggest for weight loss? Now that is dependent on the client. Janet, I would shovel people over, but some people just say, no, Carl, I want to work with you, right? I work with Janet enough to understand where she goes with all this stuff anyway, and I understand that side of it. It just doesn't float my boat. But I pencil people in for 4. I'll tell you for why. Because over those 4 weeks, over those four sessions, not 4 weeks, over those 4 sessions, what I'm going to be doing is compounding, is removing. The first session is all about emotional detox, ripping out some of our old crap. The second session is about the gastric band. If you've never seen my version of the gastric band where I'm squeezing people's stomach, go watch the weight loss videos on my YouTube channel. Go have a look at those. There's tons on there. And the second session is compounding what I've done on that second session, with it starting off with an emotional detox and then compounding and really outputting loads of anchors in to fire it off. And then the 4th session is really an amalgamation of everything. Plus we talk about gut flora, everything that you heard off Janet last night. Bearing in mind, I've known Janet for years and I've listened to it. I just pump them with that information there, talking about kefir, talking about kombucha, talking about gut flora, talking about all of those lovely things that make our guts work, talking about fasting, talking about going to the doctors if you're going to go to fast and all that type of stuff. So that's where I go. A rough 4 sessions, but mine's different, you see, because what I tend to do is I just do the emotional detox, gastric band, or the traffic light system. You'll see it on my videos, and then the 4th session is about compounding it. And to be quite honest, the reason I do it, that is in 4, and it's the only thing that I do like that, is because you're talking about a lifestyle change and putting your foot up somebody's arse. This isn't about waving a magic wand. It's about holding people accountable. That's what I do. Hold people accountable for what they do and educating them on the process. You can't really do that in 1 session. That is the only thing that I do that's got that's got the 4 in it. The rest of the other things is I can achieve that in 1 session. Okay, Stevie Holmes. What if they say they feel no change at all? That's a great question, really, because it all depends on the client. They may, during the session, some people get great results and don't feel anything in the session. Some people don't feel anything in the session. But the key thing about this is about proving hypnosis to them in the session, right? So a lot of people, when they say to me, oh, I went to hypnotist and nothing happened, right? Then my job is, what I do is I will tend to glue their feet to the floor, or I will glue their hand to the table, or whatever we're doing at that moment in time, right? And then what we do then is we just build on that belief system. So my job is to really build, is not focus on the technique, is to build on that belief system that something fundamental is going to happen or has happened to them with the hypnosis. Then I just amplify that during the session. And so I rarely get that, because I've proved hypnosis in a session. So I already proved that something's gone on, right? So I tend to make sure that my pre-talk has been done prior to that. This all comes back to the pre-talk, Steve, comes back to the pre-talk, getting it all done. If you listened to me the other day when talking about Zoom, about sending out that video prior to people coming out, so prior to coming to me, they get a video to watch, which has got the whole of my pre-talk on there, and saying about certain things. As soon as I say hypnosis, you're going to feel that hypnosis going through. So I never really get that. But if I was, and somebody says, well, I've got no change, let's say we do it today and they didn't get anything on Monday, I would tell them to give it a couple of days and then rebook back in. And they may just go, hocus pocus, I'm not doing it again. That's fine. That's fair cop, governor. All right. They may not be suited to you. That's what this job is. It's just one of those things. So I hope that answers your question in a roundabout way. But I rarely get it because my pre-talk has already been fired off that much. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Didn't realize it was time. Right, that just about sums this up, doesn't it? Evening, I didn't realize it's time. We're sat in the garden with a G&T. Well, you know what used to happen at school, Letty? If you're outside with a G&T, make sure you get around everybody at the moment and see if they want one. All right. Good. Right. So what's this? Content free on the business. Content free on the business. Can you expand on that, dear sir? Is that a question for me? I don't know. Simon, hello, buddy. If you're asked for an impromptu demo, how long and what would you include as your pre-talk before Maggie Fingers or whatsoever, assuming the subject knows nothing about hypnosis? Great question. Brilliant question, because impromptu hypnosis, I love it all day long. I eat and breathe that type of stuff. The first thing first is that normally I'm wearing a T-shirt. I haven't today. I left my shirts in. But I have got a mighty Norwich City top on underneath, and I thought, no, I'll just wear my Musto top. Right, so I've normally got a hypnotist T-shirt on. Failing that, if people know who I am, then they'll probably say, or knowing me, because I eat, shit, breathe hypnosis, I normally bring it up in a conversation. All right, because I'm that much of a sad sack. I will bring it up in a conversation, and people will normally go, oh yeah, but you can't do it to me. And that's the thing. Right, so remember, in impromptu hypnosis, there's 3 types of people. There's show me now, piss off, don't do anything to me, or the boomerang. The boomerangs are the best ones, because the boomerangs are the ones who go, no, you're not doing anything to me. And then they circumnavigate the bar, and then they end up coming back and go, go on, show me something. And they're the best ones, right? They are the best ones, because they've cooked themselves all the way round. Don't forget, hypnosis is nothing more than pure focus and imagination. Pure focus and imagination. So I just explained to him, I said, pure focus and imagination. Already by starting that, I've already started the imagination off. So pure focus and imagination. And hypnosis in a moment. So as I'm talking about hypnosis going through it. So just only imagine now using that powerful imagination of yours. That's it. That powerful imagination of yours can just fire off now. So what we could do is then start that process excuse me, that process with Maggie Fingers. So what we can do is then go, okay, let's start this. Then that there. Don't forget, in impromptu, I'm not necessarily looking for deep hypnosis. I'm looking to show that phenomena has happened or something has happened. All right. So if somebody goes like this, brilliant. If somebody goes, whoa, even better. So I'm not necessarily hunting for the phenomena, hypnosis phenomena, when I'm doing it. I'm potentially just looking to show, so I can show a business card, a business card, so I can show at a later date. 2 seconds. So that with that scenario, oil the back of the throat, Carl. With that scenario, what I would do is talk a lot about what's going to happen in a moment and then demonstrate it so they can visually see it happening. All right. So I hope that answers the question. What's this? What would you say is the best time for using hypnotic phenomena? What would you say about the best time of using the hypnotic phenomena? Yeah, I would put them in, put them out a few times. Do it that way, and then do, you know, put them in and out, put them in that, and then do some phenomena. All right. There you go, Stevie Barker there. Already won a client with a branded t-shirt. I'm telling you now, right? You're a walking, talking billboard, right? At the end of the day, an electrician or anyone like that will wear a t-shirt. Why don't you? Impromptu hypnosis is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant way of getting clients. Just even doing Maggie Fingers. Do you know what I mean? I've been in this studio all day. Me and Janet have been recording and doing stuff, and I've realized that the tungsten filament lights in here may have just ripped out all of the fluid out of my body, so it means I might have to go meet Letty in a minute and go get a nice gin and tonic. It's only a 5-hour journey. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Good. By the way, I'm clicking on things and then reading them as I hit the screen. Okay, Sandra. Hi, Carl. Can you overload a client doing emotional detox and parts control? Jesus Christ, yes. Look at the list there. Okay, let me just read that out. Hi, Carl. Can you overload a client doing an emotional detox and parts and control, etc., or are you best off just doing 1 or 2 techniques at the same time? Right. First thing first is you'll knacker yourself out. And by the way, I never go over 90 minutes in a session. All right. I always stick to 1 or 2 things in a session. If it's working, if it's working, keep going for it. All right. Don't smash them up with too much. Don't smash a client up with too much, because you'll get knackered. They'll get knackered, tired for those people outside of the UK. They'll get tired, and you need to be able to be concentrating all the time. Don't smash them up too much. If you've got something that's working, stay with it. Stay with it. You know, if you start with parts, I would stay with parts. You know, maybe do an emotional detox, a little bit of parts, or maybe a little bit of parts on its own, maybe a little bit of kinetic shift, whatever you choose. All right. There you go. All right. Don't forget, guys, I'm trying to do this. Oh my word. Right. Silly's just asked a very good question. So, Joseph, would you confirm a session before payment? This is a very interesting question, because not too long ago, I've been stung a couple of times. Right. I've been stung a couple of times, right, where people go, oh yeah, my PayPal, or block me on their phone and block me on Messenger and all that type of shit, right? So there's only one way that you can book a session with me now, via the website. Nobody, unless you go through that payment portal, gets to me. Simple as. All right? Simple as. Nobody gets to me unless they go through the payment portal. And to be quite honest, since I've had the payment portal on the website, not gone, yeah, I'll send you a PayPal link now. When I've done that, it looks more professional. It's far more easier, and I can get all the information out that I need. So if you don't get paid, it's one of those things. There are tossers out there, and you just have to take it on the chin. That's what happens. All right. So nobody gets to me unless they go through the payment portal on my website. Sandra, I hope that answered your question. Here we go. So content-free business is being flexible on your sessions in relation to what the client's needs. Yes. I seem to have tickled my throat and I can't get rid of it now. Content-free business is being flexible on your sessions in relation to what the client needs. Yes. Yes, it is. Good. The first time I wore my t-shirts out, I got recognized. Good. Have I missed anyone here? Good. Am I answering questions quick enough? Did I miss anyone up here? What would you say about the time using hypnotic phenomena? All right, done that one. Right. So, Jacques, do you use VGB, virtual gastric band, with every weight loss client? Yeah, because I find it funny. Yes, I do. I also use the traffic light system. I don't know if you've seen that one as well, where I tell them that some foods are red, they're bad for you. Some foods are amber, they're not too bad, but don't have too much. Green foods are really good for you. And then I use that, what Janet was saying the other day about the color code system, about using powerful foods, good foods, those nutritious foods that are going to make you clean and healthy. They're in the green. Amber foods, they're the ones that you know deep down intuitively that are wrong for you, but you know you can have a little bit, but you know you can have too much. Then the red ones are like those there. A lot of my time though is doing that, but education on what they're doing. It's things like sweeteners. People, you know, even my brother, if he's watching this, he's like, well, I only drink Diet Coke because it's better for you because it's got the sugar in it. Yes, and it's also got a load of chemicals in it that just screw your body up. People just don't look at it. You know, I'm forever like me and Janet went for something to eat earlier, and I was looking at a drink. Well, it's further away actually because I had to do it. I didn't have my glasses on, but I was sitting there looking at a drink, and she's going, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "If it's got shit in it," and I do that all day long. That's what I do. Yeah. So there you go. So yes, I do use that. I think it's fun. It does get a little bit boring if you like that. When do you use kinetic shift? Okay, so kinetic shift is 7 phases, right? So don't forget, kinetic shift is about 7 things. If you're not au fait with KS, by the way, thanks for doing that because you just prompted me to do this. If you want kinetic shift, just go get the button, scan that code that's up there, and then go put in Mastermind 100. You can get kinetic shift. Kinetic shift is about 7 phases. They're not new. It's about the way that they're delivered together. That's the interesting thing about it, and the confidence it breeds. It's not about kinetic shift. I'm trying to answer at the same time 2 questions here. Is kinetic shift is about confidence building. It's not just about techniques. I could teach you a technique all day long. I could sit there and teach you how to rub your nose and get rid of anxiety, right? That's what techniques are, right? But my job is to deliver that kinetic shift, to give you the belief that you can do it and the client gets a sensation, a feeling. I believe in experiences in sessions. I firmly believe in experiences. I firmly believe it should be an experience. So coming back to that last question about if it didn't work, I firmly believe that my sessions are an experience. That's the difference, all right? And that's the key thing there. So kinetic shift's about that. When would I use it? Those 7 stages, if you've got kinetic shift, you can use them and ramble them up whenever you want. You can do the eye movements, you can do whatever you want whenever you like. All right. So it's very key. You can use that whenever you want. I sometimes, but when I got the job working with Boy George and all that lot, when I was working with Boy George in Vegas, I met his sound guy by doing that, by just doing an impromptu KS session in a jacuzzi. All right. So you can use it wherever you want. Okay, Angela Rich. Hello, darling. Hope you're well. How do you do self-hypnosis? All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So it's about your imagination. So you can, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So if you tell yourself something, you will become it. So if I sit here and go, I'm really confident, I'm really happy, and I'm really good, and I keep doing it, guess what's going to happen? If I imagine a powerful me, a powerful, person, a happy person, a person that's confident in his own abilities, that's self-hypnosis. I could sell you a course on that, but to be brutally honest, I've just told you what it is. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. If you imagine it or say it, then become it. All right, that's what it is. Don't forget, guys, if you do want hypnosis t-shirts, I've got a shop on this channel, so you can go buy the t-shirts there. So you can go into the shop. Is the brighter the shirt, the better? I've got I've got a rainbow. I've got purple, red, green, luminous yellow. I've got like workman yellow. I had one on, I think I had one on yesterday. Orange as well. I've got shitloads of colors. I have like that. When I was working with Boy George, I used to wear my t-shirts all the time, and him and his manager used to sit there and go, he's got hypnotist t-shirts on, and then they'd be like that. I should have singer and I should have manager. Anyway, that's a different story. But right, let me just come in here. Hang on a minute. What's a lad? Right, let me just clarify something for Mr. Chris here. What's a lad from Suffolk supporting Norwich City? Why are you not a tractor boy? Disgusting. I should ban you from my station straight away. I live in Suffolk because I've infiltrated the border. I'm actually from Great Yarmouth. I'm actually a Norfolkian. All right, so don't worry about it. So there you go. I'm Norfolk boy. This is quite an interesting thing. Eddie just said there, fake it till you make it. You do. I feel sometimes that, and I did. I think I never ever lied about what I did, but because I've never had to. Because I've always presented in Las Vegas, even from the early days. There's 10 years now I've been presenting in Las Vegas at Hypno Thoughts Live. Don't forget, guys, if you've never been to Hypno Thoughts Live, if you can't make it this year, it is the best. I've been to all the conferences, well, except the NGH, that's fair, and some of the other American ones. But I'll be brutally honest, HT Live is the best hypnosis conference in the world. www.htlive.net. Go to it now. Go have a look at it while I'm there. And then, so I hope that helps. I've always been in a lucky position where I've always done stuff and I've always had the confidence to do it. I think you do fake it till you make it in some scenarios. I think a lot of people do. There are a lot of people out there at the moment saying, I can get you to earn £10,000 a week. And there's some of their students who are not too far away from you, Eddie, dear sir, that are sitting there going on testimonials. Oh, I earn £10,000 a week, and I do this and I do that, and oh, my life's changed since I've been on this knobhead's course, right? And the interesting thing is that those people come to me and say, oh, Karl, I've got a business problem. Can you help me? And I sit there and go, what? You want me to help you when you're earning 10 grand a fucking week? You're earning 10 fucking grand a week? Piss off, right? And I do that. I have. There's somebody not too far away from you who I told to go piss off because they've done a testimonial for somebody down in Australia saying that they were earning 10 grand a week. Not a week, 10 grand a month. Sorry, that's 40 grand. They were earning 10 grand a month. Sorry, not 10 grand a week, 10 grand a month. Now, have I earned 10 grand a month? Yes. Have I earned 10 grand in a day? Yes, but very few far between. All right, because it's not just about earning in a day. It's about the build up of shit that you do prior to that, right? So can you do it? Yes. Can I do it and maintain it? No, I haven't found it yet. I'm not saying that you can't, but I have earned good money. I did, have I earned in it? I'm not going to talk about money, but have I earned a lot of money in one day before? Yes. Can you do it? Yes, but it's not about the day. It's about the build up. And when people sit there telling me, oh, I earn £10,000 a month, I'm like that. Really? What, every fucking month? And you haven't even got a limited company? You haven't got a business account? Oh, fucking jog on. There is a lot of shit. So when you see that type of shit, I normally brush that. I normally like ripping them apart. Quite interesting. Follow Carl's. I'm trying to get through these as much as I can, right? Ooh, dirty. Okay, great question. Paul, a fellow Premiership football club in Watford. Hello, dear sir. Hope you're well. We're going to get 6 points off you next season. Right, so abreactions. I don't use the word abreaction. The reason I don't use abreaction is because it's semantics, but there is nothing abnormal about a reaction. There is nothing abnormal about me seeing a grown man or woman cry. There is nothing abnormal about that. Some people may want to try and pick the peanuts out of that shit, but on the same token, it's just me. I just tell people it's a reaction. I teach my students it's a reaction for that very reason. When people used abnormal, it was when it was, oh boy, oh good old stiff upper lip, oh boy, nobody cries around here, none of that shit. Right? That's that's why it was an abnormal reaction, right? When it was stiff upper lip, oh boy. We're not in those times now. We've gone a little bit more open, more inclusive, and we allow people to do that. All right. So yes. All right. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, so when people are reacting, let me just end in that one. Funny enough, I was talking to somebody today, and it was like, well, I haven't had anyone cry yet. Well, sometimes you don't. When anyone cries, if you see some of my videos, I'll sit there, and if they're crying, and at the end of it, because it is a valuable thing. A reaction is a valuable thing. When they let go of that pressure, that tension, that hurt, that pain, that guilt and shame, it is valuable. It's brilliant, right? When they know, because then they know the shit has come right up. I haven't got to worry about convincing them that something's happened. I had a young lady today who just said, I felt my head explode, Carl. And when I mean explode, I thought it exploded. And I was like, that, fair dues. And then she just started snotting tears and all that type of stuff. But the thing is that it's good. And the key thing is that every time I finish, I go, my job is to make beautiful people cry. That's all I say. I just say that every time. If somebody has a snot, a bloke or a female, I just sit there and go, I'll look away, let them clean this shit up, snot, bogies, the whole lot, tears when they're ready. And I just go, do you know what? It's my job. I get paid a lot of money to make beautiful people cry. That's how I do it. How I just turn my head, and I just did that then. If I can see them in my peripheral vision, I'll go, I get paid a lot of money to make beautiful people cry. Do you know that? It's quite common for people to do that. And then I'll pop my head up. All right. There you go. Okay. Eddie's just asked. This is for right. No. So right. Yeah. So hang on a minute. No, Eddie asked the question, and I think David's done that. Okay. Right. Hypnotherapy is vatable. Right. So yes, it is vatable. Training hypnosis and hypnosis come under a different category. Please speak to your accountant. I know that because my accountant had to go through all my stuff because of VAT registration, all that type of stuff. All right. The threshold is 85k, David. You're absolutely right. But there are what I think what Eddie's talking about is that there are certain criteria with certain therapies that do it. So let me just check on that, because something just rattled in my head, because I think I was doing something wrong, and my accountant's been my new accountant dealing with it. But it's to do with it. It's not a WASI. It's not like being a chiropractor or osteopath, which are names, doctors and stuff like that. Let me answer that question, because something's happened in the past 2 weeks. That's why it's funny how you've asked that, and something happened in the past couple of weeks over that. But at the moment, I've been paying VAT on that. Yeah, you're absolutely right, David. It's about 85. It's 85. You're absolutely right. It's 85k. Wendy, let me on that VAT question. Let me answer that question next week, because I've just got to clarify something, because I've been doing something and I've either been doing it right or wrong, and we're going to get an answer for it. I was told that weird dreams were an abreaction. I thought it was just subconscious still processing. If you like the subconscious unconscious metaphor, the thing is that I always treat it as like a snow globe. You get the snow globe and you rattle it really hard, and then what happens is all those pieces start to fall down. So people do have weird dreams at night time. Yes, it's absolutely do that. All right, and like that. So yeah. There we go. Right, David's got a VAT. Their VAT threshold is 60,000. Cool, that's low, isn't it? So yeah, but mind you, being VAT's good. Okay, so being VAT's good as long as you're over it. Okay, Stevie Barker's just asked a question: hypnotist or hypnotherapist? Okay, I am a hypnotist that delivers hypnotherapy. A stage hypnotist delivers a stage show. A street hypnotist delivers street. I firmly believe that we're all hypnotists that deliver hypnotherapy. So when I introduce myself, I tell people I'm a hypnotist, But don't forget, it depends on where I am in the world. David, oh, I might have got that wrong. I thought they had to be CHTs down there. So in America, let me go to America and Canada. In certain states in America, you cannot be a hypnotherapist unless you are a doctor or physician, right? So state of New York and stuff like that, you can't do it. The state of Nevada introduced it until everyone went and literally kicked off. So some people can't call themselves hypnotherapists. But on the same token, I tend to introduce myself as a hypnotist and tell people I'm just a hypnotherapist at the same time. All right. There's a question just come in and I really want to skirt past it, but I'm not going to skirt past it. Chris, let me just read this first. I want to just read this first before I answer it. So let me just answer that. In answer to your question, it depends where I am in the world. In England, right, there is this element of snobbery for some strange reason. Oh, you can't call me a hypnotist. I'm a hypnotherapist. But there's no such thing, right? There's no such thing for starters, right? But the thing is that I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. No such fucking thing as a marketing tool, all right? The made up names just to sell you courses. But the key thing is that wherever you are in the world, I then use that. If I was in the state of New York, I would be a hypnotist. Right, that's different for you guys because I hope you do. I really want you to, but all depends where you are. You have to be that. I'm a hypnotist first, and I'm a hypnotherapist second. All right, and it's not done me bad. It's not done me bad. 50+ countries teaching. Let me just read this first before I open my mouth. Was criticised by the Times last week. She's been criticised for saying that therapy could create transformational change in 1-2 sessions. Any thoughts? Okay, right. I am going to answer this question. Okay. The reason that the hatchet job happened on Marissa Peers, right? And I've got and anyone goes fucking scampering off, you go tell her and she can come, her and her husband come speak to me, I'm doing shit. Is the reason that was because of some of the claims, right? That was why I read that article and I've not commented on it. And I don't know you, Chris, from Admory, but I'm just going to give my personal point of view. There is no such thing as a new technique. That's all I'm going to say, right? Everything that we deliver as trainers has derived from somewhere else, right? Simple as. And I know where most of that's derived from. Anyone looks at my techniques, we all know where they're derived from. So there is nothing new in this profession. All I'm going to say is there is nothing new. If anyone can prove to me different, that's fine. I will come down here and I will apologize. But from what I know and from what I've seen and the students I've trained that have done these techniques and retrained those, there is nothing new. So I think to be fair to Marissa is you know, she's not using anything different. Her students are not using anything different to us. They're not, because there's nothing new there, right? And I can tell you where some of that stuff comes from. I'm not here to do a hatchet job on her. That's fine for her and her family, right? You know, I'm just answering your question. But I can tell you where it's derived from. They're not doing anything more. And it's like you just saying, it's like me saying 1 or 2 jobs. It's like me saying I can do it in 1 or 2 sessions. I never, ever guarantee that though. Why? Because you can't. And that technique is no different to anything else. When people say to me, I've got a brand new technique, or I'm this and I'm this trained. Well, I could probably pull it apart in minutes and tell you exactly where the origins of it originally came from and where it come from. There's nothing new, right? It's only tweaks. That's all that happens. Just tweaks. That's all we do. All right. And that's why I've always maintained with kinetic shift, there's nothing new in kinetic shift. It's the delivery of it. So I hope that makes sense. It was a complete hatchet job on her. And at the end of the day, good luck to her and her crew. I couldn't care less if anyone goes crying off. But on the same token, there is nothing new. And if she's developed one word popped up. She's developed a business model. All right. She's developed a business model and encapsulated those people in that business model to enjoy her training further. If that sounds fair. Does that sound fair? Anyone coming off that subject? I'm a consultant hypnotist. Sherlock Holmes is a consultant detective. Yeah, a consultant, CHT. So that's what a consultant hypnotist is. CHT, consultant hypnotist. You go to America, most of the courses over there are CHTs. There we go. Oh my God. All right. So can't pull the wool over Carl's eyes. No, but as you become further involved in this and you start learning and doing stuff, and then you start seeing how people market stuff, right? I'm trying to be fair here, right? Is that you do tend to get bored. This, do you know what, right? This is why when me and Barry talk about, or Barry especially, I do as well, Barry Neal talks about science, neuroscience. And if the techniques that we're using nowadays, right, if the techniques that we use nowadays are working, timeline therapy, Tad James, God bless him, he's just passed away, and all of that type of stuff, if they work, how's neuroscience going to help these techniques that work? They're not, right? When people sit there piff-assing around, right, with neuroscience all day long, which is a valid thing, right, but it changes. As soon as you write something, it's changed or being dismissed, right? Then the key thing is that me as a practitioner on the ground, I don't need to know what fucking protein causes a synapses on a new neural pathway. I mean, it's out of interest that I know, but I don't need to know. I don't need to know. It's not going to help my techniques, the techniques that have been proven to work over and over and over and over again. It's not, neuroscience is never going to help me that way. All right. There we go. So let me just do this, right? I have one near me who calls herself a registered clinical hypnotherapist and load of letters after a name. It's just a marketing tool. It's just a marketing tool. It's all it is. It's just a marketing tool. If you want to call yourself a clinical hypnotist, hypnotherapist, fill your boots. If you want to put DHIP, RCHYP, registered clinical hypnotherapist, fucking do it. Go enjoy yourself. Fill your boots, right? Go fill your boots. Go fill your boots. I've seen clients today, right, dressed like this, right? They don't give a shit about what I'm dressed in. They don't give a shit about my certificates, and they don't give a shit about the numbers after my name, or the letters after my name, I should say. They don't care. Why? Because I proved myself and my self-worth on YouTube and other most social media, because I prove I can do the job. People aren't worried about that. When you see letters behind somebody's name that's longer than their actual name, it's a self-esteem issue. It's a self-esteem issue, and they need a therapist. That's all I'm going to say on that. And you know, at the end of the day, don't you know? At the end of the day, there you go. Chris, yeah, cool. Yeah, I hope I answered that as politely as I could. And for anyone later on going running back to Marissa, off your fucking toddle, give her this clip. Because there are people that go running off the other. Somebody asked me a question the other day about Jonathan Royal, and I answered it the same way as I just did then, right? And the key thing is that I know Jonathan, so I just contact him and just say, "Here's the clip. That's what I said. Off your toddle." And I haven't done anything there. Isn't there something about promising to do certain changes, etc.? Better not to promise anything. Yeah. Well, the thing is that the key thing is that. What Brianden's just said there is that's a trading standards thing. That's a trading standards thing. The interesting thing, if you haven't read that article in the Times, it's quite interesting for us in England, because a junior minister said, are you ever going to go out and are you going to turn this into are you going to register these people for doing it? And they went, no, we ain't got no plans now or near it. So who gives a shit? Anyway, if they started to do that anyway, we'd all change our names anyway to Bibble Babbles or something like that. Yes, let's call ourselves Bibble Babbles. But that's a trading standards question, offering things that you can't do. All right. As you breathe, you open eyes, breathe out, close your eyes, do it 3 times, relax, boom, new hypnosis. There you go. Yeah, job done. Hypnosis has got nothing to do with the induction. It's got nothing to do with anything like that. I actually watched a fairly big trainer today who's nicked my bloody my 5 stages, my hypnocycle, and I'm teaching it. I thought it was quite funny, actually. Somebody sent me it today, and I was like, you cheeky bastard, I had dinner with you 4 years ago and you took my paperwork, you shit. Yeah, Brandon, yeah, it's self-important bullshit, right? And right, I'm just being honest. You know, guys, you know what I'm like. I'm just trying to be honest with you about the real world of hypnosis, not this masquerade of bullshit that goes on, right? I've never and won't be in any of the, as far as I'm concerned, touch wood, any of the associations. And the reasons that I won't be in any of the registers, the associations, or anything like that, they have a good job, and they keep those people that have been poor, those people that have been poorly trained in a cycle that helps them keep them in that cycle. Like I personally like the Australian Hypnotherapy Association, right? And I like the Australian ones because they've got it right, because they're about helping people. But the ones in England, they're just about keeping people in a cycle. They're a cash cow. They are a cash cow. And that's the way I look at it. And for everybody who comes to me, if they stifle creativity. During the lockdown, they were sending out messages to their members that they can't do this and they can't do that. I'm sitting there going, well, I ain't a fucking member, because I understand it. I understand this shit, so I don't need your permission to do it anyway. But yeah, so I just work with government guidelines, not their bullshit. And that's the point, right? That's the point. All right. So the point being is that you don't need to be in any of these organizations, and you would be better off spending your money on a brand new camera or a really good Facebook ad. In fact, to be quite honest, I would rather spend my money on a camera, because that will go for a couple of years, whereas a Facebook ad may only last for a week. All right. Eddie, you're absolutely right. The thing is that, and I've had trainers have a pop at me about my comments on here, and I'm very good friends with some of them, and I've just told them, I've just called them out. I said, well, come on there and prove what it is. Same as scripts. You know, people that get taught scripts, I always say it, and I will say it again and say it again. If you've ever been taught with scripts and you're not confident, go back, ask your trainer for your money back, and give them this video and tell them that they were full of shit and they didn't teach you hypnosis. They didn't teach you hypnosis. They didn't teach you pure hypnosis if you were being taught with scripts. If you were taught with scripts, you were being taught by a failed psychotherapist that needs to bullshit their course out because they don't know what they're fucking doing. Look at me just going a verbal diarrhea just then. An unexpected guest show up tonight. Oh, right. So hang on a minute. Can I just point this out? Letty turns up late because she's drinking gin, and now she's got to go because her friends turned up. Potential clients are attracted to personality in your results, Carl, through YouTube, so you don't need to show your qualification. No, that's absolutely right. And that's what I keep trying to impart to you guys, right? I am no different to you guys, right? The only thing that's different between me and you is I'm probably several thousand clients down the line, or my confidence. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is, right? That's it. All it is. That's all it is. Yes, Brandon. Yeah. And yeah, what do we say to haters? Yeah, absolutely right. And now there's another reason, Angela should point up here. Okay. There's another reason that scripts are poor training, right? There's another reason. Not only are you not watching your client, who is the script, Eddie, I'm not going to come on to it. It's not, you're not watching the client. The other thing as well is that in a therapeutic session, you have to spike the emotion that you want to deal with. You have to bring it to the forefront. In my personal opinion, you have to bring it to the forefront. That's why when I teach the emotional detox and kinetic shift, that's why it works. Because what you're doing is popping it up and smacking it on the head. And there's nothing better than, I can't remember what they're called now, when you sit there on the seafront and see those little moles come up and you sit there and smash it and smash it and smash it until you run out of money. But the thing is that you're not smashing it all day long. The thing is that the point is you're popping it up and whacking it and hitting it. And that's exactly the way that I see it. Whack-a-mole, whatever you want to call it, right? It's not, you know, some of the scientific and the medical type people out there might, but I'm trying to put it in layperson's terms. That's the way I see this, right? With a script, it's so flat that you're not going to bring it to the surface. You're just where's my money? That's what it is. Whereas if you spike the emotion and deal with the emotion, guess what? That's what, all right? What experiences do you need to train other people to be hypnotists? Absolutely square root of nothing. You don't need any qualifications. You just need the confidence and the competence to do it. Some people go on really elongated courses because they think that it's going to help them out. Ain't going to help them. We're now taking on new trainers. Or anyone who's done you have to do a kinetic shift course, obviously. Those people that have done kinetic shift, you can come on to be a trainer with us, and it's 3 days training and then continual training. And the key thing about it is we tell it. I tell them to tell the public exactly what I'm saying. Joseph, can we have some more videos on emotional detox? Okay, so as we come out of this shit show in England called coronavirus, my objective is for those people that are members, we are going to start doing recordings, and I will start doing them then. That's the point. And I've got people lined up already, so I will be recording live some days on there, right? So it is in everyone's benefit to be a member, because then you'll see it live, because they're not going out. I'm not doing lives for everybody. If you're not a member, you ain't invested in me, then tough. I'm going to invest in the people who've invested in me. All right, so there. Where did scripts come from originally? Like, who started this bullshit? Right, let me just tell you that. Failed psychotherapists. That's what happened. Thank you, David. Kinetic Shift is a great course. You know, it's just, you know, at the end of the day, there is nothing new, right? Somebody tells you you've got a new technique, you can pull it apart in seconds. So I went on a course once and they went, oh, it's brand new, this, that, and the other. And I spent £100,000 on developing this course. I went on it and I was like that. Well, that's that, and that's that. And I've just paid 500 fucking quid for this. Anyway, Miss Christina's question. Christina, if you're still there, can you do, hi, I would like to know if you believe that after a fear or phobia session, it is vital to face that fear shortly afterwards. Good question. Right, here's a top tip, right? If somebody's got a fear of spiders, do not bring a funnel web out or a chili red, right? Because you will piss people off. I test, right, by a simple thing. I test by, if there's conflict between the emotion and the intellect, the emotion will always win, right? And we always know that if you've ever watched any of my videos. So if I've got Incy Wincy Spider, just imagine I've got Incy Wincy Spider walking towards you now, and just bringing that Incy Wincy Spider up to the camera and just doing this. And just imagine that Incy Wincy Spider just rearing up. Some of you are probably doing that right now. The key thing is that that's how I would test it. Get them to close their eyes and just imagine a spider in the distance. Just imagine that a spider is nearby. It's not going to hurt them. It's not got no interest in having dinner with you. But on the same token, that way there. And that's the way that I would deal with it. With a fear or phobia, I would get them like another good one as well as fear of heights. Just imagine you're stood on the edge of a cliff, and then get the client, walk them forward to the edge of the cliff, and then just watch them look over the edge. Stuff like that. But they're only in your office. Your imagination is a great tool to test that work. I did have a lady last year who had a fear of motorways and got a train up here. And at the end of the session, where I am here is a massive airfield. So we went on the runway. There's a massive active runway. Yes, I did clear first. I did clearance. There's a runway around the back of here. And we still get Apache helicopters and aircraft landing here, Spitfires, all that type of shit all day long. And yeah, I took her on the runway, and she drove up and down it, up and down it, up and down it. And I told her to turn right, and then I told her to turn left, told her to turn right, and then next minute she was on the A12 dual carriageway, and she was chatting away to me and didn't even realise that I'd stuck her on the dual carriageway, the A12. And I was sitting there chatting away, talking about this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to get something to eat? He said, there's a petrol station coming up here on the left, indicated him, pulled up. And I said, do you want to discuss what just happened? And she went, what? And I pointed out what we just done. So I drove back once I pointed out, and she just couldn't believe it all the way back. So that's one way of testing it. So I hope that helps. Cotton wool fiber phobia. Oh yeah, that makes my teeth go funny. My client had a fantastic session. Fear went from 10 down to 0, and she waited 3 weeks to face it. It didn't work. Oh, well, maybe try and do that. Maybe try and do something straight away. But I will get them to do their imagination. But on the same token, the issue is never the issue. The issue is never the issue. So a fear and phobia has got nothing to do with the fear and phobia. Remember that. A fear and phobia has got nothing to do with it. Go back, emotionally detox, and clear it all out that way. Do a clear out however you want to do it, whatever you choose, right? It's not like the emotional detox the only way that I work. But on the same token, the issue is never the issue. So the fear of spiders, the fear of heights, and all that type of stuff has got nothing to do with it. It is the precursor that happened prior to an event that did it, right? It's all that built up stress. Finished KS this week. Great course. Reaffirmed everything. So pleased. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Right. Did I just see Letty come back? Has she come back? Is she allowed back in? Should we allow her back in? Guys, any more questions? Have I missed anything? My favorite saying, success comes from this boy said he put up. My favorite saying is success comes from good judgment. Good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. Absolutely. That's what happens in business. That's what happens when you're running a business, mate. Good. Letty's back. Right, this is quite interesting. Letty, I don't think you're allowed back unless you bring everyone a gin. Or, right, I will be there at 7:30 and not leave until the end 100 times. Right, I've got an 8-year-old client next week who has fear of zombie apocalypse. What you should do is get hold of the parents of said child and rattle their head. Because that's where it's coming from. You know, at the end of the day, this is why we're getting all this, because the kids and all that, like, isn't it? They're playing games and stuff like that, or they're watching shit that they shouldn't be watching. That's what's happened there. The only thing I would do there is loads and tons, teach them EFT, whatever tippity-tappity, meridian-y type thing you want to do. I would do that. That's what I would technically do. All right. I had a question, but you can wait till the next Q&A. A&A, Alcoholics Anonymous. Wendy says, I have a question, but you can wait till her next Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. I think that's what it means. Right, yeah, she's going to be doing EFT. Yeah, cool. Don't forget, in EFT, there is a lesson on that on this channel. Don't forget that EFT, in my personal opinion, is self-hypnosis. Nobody's yet to find a meridian in an autopsy. That's me taking the piss, by the way. Well, that's a valid point, you see, because what you need to do is educate the parents, and maybe the parents don't know. Maybe the parents don't know, you know, but on the same token, you know, some of the stuff that I watch on YouTube that kids are watching, I was watching he's 11 years old and he's quite emotionally intelligent, my boy, my William. And I'll tell you now, there was stuff on there and he was like watching it. I'm like, oi, you shouldn't be watching that. And he's like, well, it's only a short part of it. I went, right. So, but remember, oi, and he was like that, yeah, and came off of it straight away. But, you know, as a parent, you have to watch them all the bloody time because it's information so like that. Andy Latto, and for the guys, if you don't know, Andy Latto's our training manager, and I have a fear of not having a drink. I have a fear, Andy, that you've never brought me around. And for all you spiritual people, Andy's got a member of his family at the present moment in time who's not very well. Send him all that energy and love. Andy's he's my training manager and my right hand man in the company. So send him loads of love, will you? Yeah, there we go. How are the fingernails, Carl? They're not too bad. I chopped them down earlier today, funny enough. I found parents refuse to listen. Parents, I found parents refuse to listen. Yeah, they are. Sometimes the parents are the biggest issue. The parents are the issue, I would do. And there we go. Paul, I don't even remember you buying me a drink, to be brutally honest. So there you go. Guys, any more questions? Because 1 hour is already. And here we go. Who? I nearly forgot. Competition time. Get your fingers ready. Okay. For those people that have won in the past couple of weeks, just hang fire. Don't forget, because I want to make sure that I give people enough chances and opportunities. Okay. Right, Eric's just said something now. I'm not going to do the question. I'm not going to do the competition in a minute. So get your little keyboards ready, right? I'm quite convinced that guided meditation is a simple hypnosis. Do you agree, Carl? I think Einstein once said that every branch comes from the same tree. I think that's the quote. Or from every tree goes a branch. Yeah, is every branch comes from the same tree. That's right. Every branch comes from the same tree. You're absolutely right. I firmly believe that if you're using the imagination in any way, it's hypnosis. If you're using your imagination and focus in any way, it's hypnosis, irrespective of what its label is. We as hypnotists concentrate and amplify that which makes us, you know, we're all doing the same thing, but we just amplify it compared to where somebody else is doing stuff. That's all it is, amplification of a state. That's all we do, is we amplify it and cause the belief to go even further. All right, good. So fingers ready on the keyboard. You've just won. Okay, Janet Thompson last night. She didn't just tell me what the question is. She's probably watching now. Janet Thompson last night, and this is for, I believe it's the best part of £200 worth of kit. I may well be wrong by 20, 30 quid, but however, you will be getting some of Janet's stuff. Don't forget, it's only open for those people that are green. So, yeah, Letty, you can't do this. You're drunk. So, first one to answer this correctly, right, wins Janet Thompson's course. Ready? Everyone's like that now. What are pre and probiotics, and what is the difference between both of them? That's a long question. What are pre and probiotics, and what's the difference? That was Janet's question. Oh, and if you weren't on last night, I'm going to selfishly plug this. You're going to be getting part of this course. I know, and you can contact Janet, and or you can get this book. All right. All right. Cheers, Letty. All right. So that's Janet Thompson, by the way. She's done that. What are pre and probiotics, and what is the difference? First one with a green. Did it. Everyone's good. I'm just going to do that. Oh, you're so close. What's that? Probiotics. Oh my God. Right. I did say the first one, right? I did say the first one. And I can't believe it, on 2 weeks on the bounce now, right? It doesn't matter what I was going to say then. Let me just read this. Let me just go through these first, right? Prebiotics are the bacteria and pro are what they feed on. Okay. Pre is the bacteria and pro is the fiber. Pre is the food for the pro. Pro can be found in probiotics, feed on biome. Probiotics boost the numbers of biome. Yeah, you are all right. Right. The correct answer is the pre. Don't forget, guys. Only if you remember, these competitions are only open to people that joined it. Is the pre and the pro, right? One is the bug and one is the feed. Yeah, in simplistic format. And they got the part that got floor. And the first one who came up with what I'm going to say, there were people that are right, but it was the first one. It's Lindsay. It's Mrs. Lindsay Plum, whose name isn't Lindsay Plum. Lindsay, and that's why. Okay, Lindsay Plum won this Friday's Maniac question. All right, so well done, Lindsay. Well done to Lindsay. You've won today. Eric, you were Eric. Yeah, it was Lindsay first one. I mean, we could give a spelling for what she did, but I think the rapid way she did it. Prebiotics are the bacteria and pro are what they feed on. Okay, and it's as simple as that. I'm really sorry if I really complicated that, but that was the question that I got given. Okay, but yeah, Lindsay won. So Lindsay, if you can contact me, thanks very much. Guys, don't forget, every Friday we will be giving away a thing. And Lindsay, if you can contact me later or on over the weekend or Monday, I will get you the course that Janet's given you about nutrition. Don't forget, guys and girls, if you want to go see Janet's stuff, and I will get trainers to offer things out to you. Close but no coconut, but coconut sugar is better for you than other refined sugars. Don't forget that. So there will be more opportunities, and I'll tell you what, just to make it a little bit more interesting, I'll do some stuff. I'll do some stuff next week as well. That I'm going to throw in next Friday, I'm going to throw in some newer stuff and things like that. Okay, but this week's winner is Lindsay Plum, and it was the first one, so well done to her. Don't be offended if you didn't win. Don't forget the competition is now closed. Right, the competition is now closed for those people who keep entering, saying, "Well, you promised me if I got the question right." It was Professor Plum. The interesting thing is Lindsay's name isn't isn't Plum, which is quite interesting. I found out today. So, guys and girls, thanks very much for this evening. Guys, don't forget, loads of likes and loads of stuff like that. If you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying this channel, let me know, and we'll go from there. And as ever, if I haven't answered your question, please, just let me know. Ping me an email and I'll do that. What's that? I was able to stop smoking after reading Alan Carr's Easy Way. It's sort of hypnosis. Absolutely. All right. Guys and girls, don't forget, guys and girls, if you are in the Suffolk area, by the way, please give us a shout out. You're always welcome to come over to the studio and do that. Have a great weekend, everybody. As ever, it's been absolute fun this week. I hope you picked up loads. If you haven't seen the rest of this week, please do it. Don't forget, on the questions on a Friday, it will be something about we've dealt with during the week, all right? And that's not to make it, it's not to make you all addicts, but most of you are. There are addicts here. But the thing is that we are there, okay? Guys and girls, thank you very much for your support. For those people who are members, don't forget, if you want to join it, it's $4.99. You get the basic membership. $8.99, you get all of the courses and all that type of stuff. And for those people who just want to do some mentoring hours with me, you're more than welcome to. Okay. And for those people who are doing the mentoring, don't forget, we are coming up to next month where you will be getting your hour-long mentoring session with me. Talk about business techniques and anything else that you want to learn or do. All right. So don't forget that. Guys, girls, as ever, be safe out there. Much love to Andy and his family. Wishing that person all the best, and we will see you on Monday, and I will be loading up over the weekend what next week's are going to be. All right, hopefully I'm going to get another top presenter in with us next week. Guys, thanks very much for your entertainment. If I've missed anything tonight, I didn't mean to, but have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves and don't do anything that I wouldn't do. See you Monday 7:30 on this channel. Don't forget, loads of likes, loads of shares. Go do it. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, go out there, practice. And when you finish practicing, practice some more. Get out there, my friends. See you later on. Bye-bye.